What's up everyone? Today we are going to be talking about a swing trading entry tactic that provides some of the best risk to reward trades out there. I got a link in the description for a free indicator to help you identify this pattern, and the best part is you can start using this right away. Okay, so before we get started, let's quickly go over the basics of candlesticks so everybody's on the same page. So, the most important thing about candlesticks is that the color of the candle is not determined by whether or not price is up or down on the day or whatever time frame you're looking at, but where price is in relation to the opening price of that candle. So, for a bearish candle, it's going to be the color red, and the top of the body is your opening price, and the lower part of the body is your close or your last price. The wicks on either end show the high and the low of the day outside of the opening and closing body. Moving on to the bullish candle, it's going to be the opposite. It's a green candle where the lower part of the body is the opening price and the top of the body is the closing or the last price. Once again, the wicks show the high and the low for that time frame. Now that we've covered candlesticks, let's go ahead and get into this strategy, which is going to be a kicker pattern. A kicker pattern is a two-bar pattern we can use to help identify a possible change of trend. So, how do we identify the kicker pattern? First, we need a bearish or a red candle, which is going to be our setup candle. Now, to complete the kicker pattern, the next candle needs to gap up and have its opening price be above the opening price of the setup candle. If you take a closer look, you can see the opening of the green candle is higher than the opening of the red candle. That's your kicker pattern. To control our risk using this setup, you're going to want to place your stop at the closing price of the setup bar. Okay, let's take a look at a real life example. So here I have the chart of EQT pulled up, and you can see it formed this very nice cup and handle pattern. The handle's drifting down towards the moving averages and finding support there, and now we have a setup candle. There were a few other setup candles in this handle as well, but they never triggered the kicker pattern, so this is the one we're going to focus on here. So we have our opening price of $41.88, and it's a red candle, so we know that the closing price is lower than that. And in this case, it closed at $41.34. So in order to complete the kicker pattern, the next day, our candle needs to open above $41.88. Let's go ahead and look at the next candle. You can see we gapped up and opened at $42.25. That triggers our kicker pattern, and you can buy it right on the open. Assuming we got the opening price and placed our stop at the close of the setup day, we have a very small risk of less than 3% on this trade. Fast forward a few days later, you're sitting with nearly a 16% gain. At this point, you'd be moving your stop up, you'd be making sure you guaranteed yourself some profit on this trade. If you look back, the initial setup, we were only risking 2.75%, and we were able to make just under 16%, or 6 times our risk. Okay, so I mentioned that I had an indicator that I would link below. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on and show you how it works. What it's going to do is plot a blue arrow every time there's a kicker pattern. So every time you see a red setup candle and then we get that gap up for a proper kicker pattern, it's going to go ahead and place this blue arrow underneath. You can see not all of them work. This one here you would have been stopped out on. This one worked. Here's another one that worked. This one would have been stopped out on. So one thing to note is that it's very important not just to go and buy every kicker pattern you see. You want to use this setup in the right context, with a strong stock near support that is maybe consolidating and it looks like it's getting ready to make another move higher. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video or found any of the information useful, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button below to stay up to date with all my new videos.